Yo, 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 what is going on, COD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today we are back again, and I'm going to be showing you something that I think is actually pretty dope. So for those of you that are trying to be the most efficient PvE, XP, Arcane Dust grinding farmers that you can, I'm going to show you just a few ways on how you can micro your legions in a way where you can take the least amount of damage, sustain your marches for as long as you possibly can to end up getting those max command point reductions. So instead of you paying 50 points per killing a legion, you would pay 40 points per killing a legion, or killing a darkling creature, for example, or darkling warrior with your legion. So again, and I'm going to these mechanics you can pretty much universally apply. I'm just going to show you a couple ways on how you can do it just from using 2 marches or 2 legions right now. So as always, if you guys enjoyed the content, make sure you sub, like, ring the notification bell, and of course, if you want to join and be a part of our conversation, hit up the Discord. You can find a link to that in the pinned comment description right down below. So what we're going to show you today, right, and what I will show is how I'm using 2 legions and I don't take any damage at all, but I'm able to micro the legions in a way where I'm constantly attacking the PvE unit, right? In this case, I'm constantly attacking the Darkling Patrol, and my 2 units are not taking any damage. Now, you can do this specifically, you really need ranged units to do this with, so I'm doing it with my siege units, as I'm just waiting for them to go down, but you can do this with your mages, with your archers, and then I think it's the axe throwman. So again, it's really not that difficult. You just have to spend a little bit of time doing it. This is kind of what I would refer to, for those of you that have played Rock, this is kind of a easier and more advanced way of doing kind of like chaining, right? So chaining essentially is where you would have like an AoE skill go off, and you use an AoE skill on a march, and then you don't take any damage. Now, the interesting thing, and I'm actually going to test this out to see if this works, right? So I have 384 command points right now, right? So what you want to do is you want to position your marches on the opposite side of the Darkling Legion, and then what I'm going to do, I have to see who I'm going to do. Okay, so it's this one. Here we go. So I'm going to attack this and see if it goes down below 384, and then once it does, I'm going to hit. So now we'll start attacking, and then what you're going to see me do is immediately I'm going to start running away. Now I'm using this example on, I'm doing this example on a, just kind of around a city. Oh, I took one hit there, essentially. And basically what you're doing is you're circling the unit around your center. So you see how now the aggro pulls? So now aggro pulls over to this unit. Once he gets a little close, then I start moving away. The idea is that you're keeping the unit in the circle radius for the unit that's constantly attacking, right? Okay, so now he moves away, now I go. And now I'm going to re-attack. Now I'll go down here, and then I'm going to circle around this, right? So essentially, I'm kind of using the cities in a way. And you don't really need to use the cities. You can do this out in the open field as well, right? So here, I'll show you an example if we summon another one. So I'm curious, I had 384. Let's see what we're at now. So now I'm at 306. So you can see, though, it took away 40 points, right? So I've already reduced my CP usage per legion where I'm hitting for 40, right, instead of 50. So now I'll show you another example. We'll summon one more, and hopefully I don't have to walk that far. I was trying to do these where it wouldn't take too long, so I don't think they're too far away. Oh, I'm not. So I'll show you how you can kind of do this in the open field. So I'm not going to use any cities. I'll just do this here in the middle. And in short, what you're like I said, you have to really think about how you're doing it, and you have to sometimes click on multiple units in order to achieve this. But it is very doable. Where you just saw me. I mean, I took 1 hit from 1 unit. The other times I was doing it, I didn't take any hits at all. So this is what we'll do. We'll position 1 here, and I'll position. Actually, here we'll go back here. I'm going to stop right here just in case. I want to see where he's going to end. This actually isn't that bad. So let me do this. We'll come down here a little bit. Okay, cool. So I'm going to do this one first. I'm going to try and pull with this. And I'm just going to keep backing this up. I'm going to wait. I want it to do damage first. Now I'll go. Cool. So now I'm going to do the damage, and this is what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to start running this way, right? So I'm going to run this way at the farthest distance I can. And again, I might take a couple hits, but essentially I'm just going to keep running until the aggro pulls onto my other unit, right? So I'm kind of taking the longest. Okay, now it pulls, and then I'm going to end up running this way, right? So I'm basically just going to start running ahead of time, and you're just going to do a circle, right? You're basically just doing counter circles. So see, then I'm going to run this way. And again, I could have clicked this a little earlier, but you can kind of see the example. You basically want to pull the troop away kind of at the max distance radius in which they can get shot in. And then I'm just going to go back and forth, right? And so it's kind of almost like you're doing, if you guys ever play basketball and you're kind of doing that drill, or you're playing soccer is probably a better one, right? You're doing that drill where you have like two people that are running down the sidelines and one passes the ball in front and they run, and the other one passes the ball and they run to get it. And that's kind of what you're doing. So this is just a nice little efficient way where you can stay out as long as you possibly can running ranged units. You can use the max amount of CP to get the max reduction, right, which would be 40 CP per legion. And if you ever come across an event where you can use extra command point items to farm PvE units, this is the best way to really do it, right? At least until I can figure out another way. And because it seems like even if I use an artifact, it's still going to apply the 40 points because it's still looking at it as an attack. So really, the best way that we can maximize is by creating a situation where our units can stay out as long as possible, right? Taking the least amount of damage and then being able to farm as many units as possible. So based on this, if I keep this up, I mean, I could probably stay out here for 5,000-10,000 command points worth, right? As long as I'm not taking any damage. It's just a matter of having to just apply the micro appropriately. With that being said, that is it for me. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Have you tried this yet? Are you doing it in a different way? Again, my margin of error is a little smaller because the range isn't as long when you're using ballistas, so it probably requires a little bit more micro attention than it would if I was using mages or archers or the axe throwmen, where the range is longer. So I have a wider radius that I can operate in, meaning that there's a higher chance I'll take less damage or have less margin of error. But I would love to hear what your thoughts are, right? Is this something you think is pretty cool? I actually do. Have you tried doing it a different way? Have you tried doing something else, right? I kind of showed you how you can do it in the open field, how you can do it using buildings and structures to your advantage. So let me know in the comments down below. That is it for me. As always, I will catch you guys later.